it similar on the rower as it is in a pull-up. So when you're talking about external rotation, how would you apply that to the pull-up? Would you do it on the way up or on the way down? As you were saying?
Such a good idea. We'll talk about that. It's like he's a plant in the crowd. So let's take the idea. The idea is, hey man, I need to become stable on the pull-up bar. Because have you guys ever heard of golfer's elbow or tennis elbow from doing pull-ups? Call it what it is. Butterfly kip elbow. I don't play golf and hurt my elbow, right? I have some elbow pain pull-ups. According to our theme and our strategy, what's the first thing I need to look at? The trunk. So what happens if I jump on a pull-up bar that's too short for me? My feet down? Can I ever get into a good position? No, so I'm going to automatically break and overextend as I swing my feet through. So number one, let's make sure I'm on a pull-up position, on a pull-up bar that allows me to approximate a good position, right? Now what happens now if I do my butterfly kip? Let's do a butterfly. Watch out behind you. So I'll butterfly kip. Now can you identify any problems with this off the top of your head, okay? Anything wrong with that? It's a pretty sick kip, isn't it? Dude, I'm so broken. In fact, I just killed my low back. Fully overextended, loss of position, totally broken. As soon as I tilt, can I externally rotate? So what happens? I internally rotate, lose my hand position, I tear my hand because I lose my false grip position. My hand tears, I think I even tore my hand on those, right? And more importantly, I become loose, shoulder comes forward, and now what happens to my elbow? Valgus force in the elbow. I put a 90-degree bend in my hinge joint. There's one of the mechanisms for that problem. Okay, so automatically we see a few things. He's overextended in his default position. Overextended, feet together. That's your neutral starting position. How did I could tell? Because his rib cage was being pulled away from his body and he was in a broken position to start. Does that make sense? Can you see that? Now he's in a neutral position and pulling the rib cage down is the same thing as pushing the shoulder forward overhead, but in this situation he's integrated from the other side. So he's anchored and he has to pull the rib cage down to get into that good shoulder position. If you look at the athletes doing the giant swings, they are fully externally rotated, and I want to use this as the shock absorber, not this as the shock absorber, right? You guys with me? So now, jump up again. You guys doing great. Can you point your toes? Good. Now let's do a dead hang pull-up. What happened here immediately? Come on down. Watch the difference here. Do it again. That was better. Maintained in neutral position. Rib cage stays down. His scapula stabilizers stay on. Pull up again. Feet end up in front of the bar. That's a beautiful dead hang position. We see him extend, but we don't see a broken extension. We didn't put one joint right in the middle of his global extension. He's still hard. It's still hard. You have to compress the rib cage. Point the toes again. Much better position. Good fight for that position for us. Rib cage down, pull. Oh, and he became soft. And what did he do? What was the first movement to initiate? Overextended and broken. Is he be able to control the shoulder? No. Keep this rib cage down and pull for us. Pull. Better, better, better. Excellent. It's a more effective and efficient. Drop down. Hands. Give this guy a hand. Good job. It's hard, isn't it? But isn't it easier, Kelly, just to hang on the bar? Totally. In fact, you should just cross your legs and overextend. And you know why I know? Because everyone who does that has a shoulder problem when they do pull-ups. The joint becomes loose in there, you're not connected, boom, there's your shoulder problem, there's your elbow problem. It starts back as a technique problem. So if you're going to solve shoulder problems with your athletes, you have to make sure, did you have a shoulder problem?
Sorta, yeah.
Sorta, and what was his first problem? We had a broken mechanics we pulled. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's what we're looking for. So we pull our ballet dancers in, and they were like, we are ballet dancers, and they are kick-ass athletes. And we're like, can you do pull-ups? And they're like, hell yeah, we got pull-ups. Just because we're dancers doesn't mean we can't do pull-ups. And we're like, jump up there. And they're like, sure. And why am I having a hard time with chest to bar? Head is back. If I lose that spinal position, I break and I can't ever close off, can I? We're really talking about how to excel in the games right now. If I lose my head position or extend, can I pull effectively? No. And what ends up happening is you see this pull up, right? Okay, chest to bar. I hope it happens this time. See how loose I am? Overextended. Throw my head back. It's over there somewhere. That is such an inefficient position. And we see a lot of athletes, as soon as they overextend, shoulder comes forward, internally rotate, and literally can't close the distance because the mechanics stop working because you look like a T-Rex. Make sense? In order to be able to stabilize the shoulder and pull effectively, we keep the head tall, butt on. And doesn't mean you can still butterfly kip with this position and this technique, but we've got to maintain these neutral positions, and it becomes very easy to pull and pull efficiently. Make sense to you guys? So high rep pull-ups is coming in the games. I guarantee you're going to see some thruster pull-up thing. I just feels like it in my blood, doesn't it? They hate us. So let's make sure we're super efficient. And one of the ways we do, how do I can tell that that's a default position? That's going to change my shoulder mechanics and shoulder stabilization. I don't throw my head over the bar. My head will arrive over the bar every time. If I throw my head, I instantaneously unlock the shoulders, internally rotate, can't close off, destabilize the system. Make sense to you guys?